So the following transactions, the ones I am pointing to, these will be the ones that we will journalize, and I will be referring to them constantly throughout this video, and I will leave a copy of these transactions in the video description, so feel free to do that if you find it useful. Now, you would notice that all the transactions here, first of all, there are a number of things that I intentionally will ignore for now, and then I will clarify in future videos, which are the page numbers. And then I don't think there's anything else. I will clarify that in the future, okay? And then you would also notice that after the transaction, there we have numbers that are in brackets. I will also ignore those for now, just to keep this chapter as simple and as easy as possible. Of course, I will integrate those things in our next class, or very shortly in a future class. The rest of the information remains very, very important. So what we will do is that we will take each of these transactions, as I said, and we will take it to a day book or a journal. I will be referring to the layouts, to the tables I will be using today as day books and not journals. You will notice that all the transactions start with the word credit, or the two words credit sale. So that means that we are selling on credit to specific persons or companies. You would notice that all of them say credit sales, and then they have the name of the persons, and then there is an amount. So that means that because all the transactions are credit sales, we will be using the sales they book, because we are selling on credit. So this is the layout. This is the table for the sales they book, also known as sales journal. Okay, so first of all, our very first transaction is, it says March 1st, credit sales to J. Gordon, $187. So in order for us to journalize that transaction, we would use our sales day book, because we are selling on credit to J. Gordon. So we need our date. The textbook does not give us a year for this particular drill, so I'm going to go ahead and use 2021. That's how I will start, 2021, and it is March 1st. Okay, so description. For the description, we need to know to whom we're selling. And if you recall, the transaction says that we are selling on credit to J. Gordon. So the description will be J. Gordon. You would notice that there is an invoice number column. So here in the transactions, you are not given an invoice number. However, some textbooks, when they give you a transaction, they might tell you this is the invoice number. If they provide you with an invoice number, then you include the invoice number that they give you. But this particular textbook, they do not give you an invoice number, so I suggest the students start from 1. I would go ahead and say 01. So our invoice number is 01. You can pick any other random number. I decided to start with 01. Folio, I will come back at the end to this column. You will see how we will tie this particular column with our ledgers. So the amount that we sold to J. Gordon is 187. That is our first transaction. Very easy. We need a date. We need to know to whom we sold. We need an invoice number that we make up, and we have the amount. Very easy. We ignore this for now. March 3rd, credit sales to G. Abrahams, and the amount is 166. So again, very similar transaction, with the difference being that it's a different person on a different date and a different amount. So we will write March 3rd, G. Abrahams. The invoice number would be any other random number. I would go ahead and I would select 02, and the amount is $166. The following transaction is no more difficult than the one we just did. March 6, credit sales to V. White, $12. So we go ahead. March 6th, we sold to V. White, invoice number 03, amount $12. March 10th, credit sales to J. Gordon, $55. Again, this person, we're selling to him again. So March 10th, J. Gordon, invoice number 4, because it's another invoice, it's not the same, it's another sale, so we go with 04. The amount is $55. The following transaction, March 17th, credit sales to F. Williams, $289. March 17th, to whom did we sell? F. Williams. Invoice number 05. Amount $289. The following transaction, March 19th, credit sales to U. Richards, $66. U. Richards, invoice 06, amount $66. March 27th, credit sales to V. Wong, $28. March 27th, V. Wong is the person to whom we sold, 07 invoice number, and the amount is $28. The last transaction, March 31st, credit sales to L. Singh, $78. March 31st, L. Singh, 08 invoice number, and the amount is $78. So we've journalized all these transactions. So taking these transactions and recording that information here is called journalizing. You've heard that term before in this class. Now you get to experience it firsthand. We are not finished here because we will need to transfer. I'm sure that you've noticed that there is no debit and credit side here, but it's coming. It's coming shortly, okay? So in order for us to start that process, we would first need to figure out what are our sales for the current month, which is March.